Hello, everybody. Get off my lawn cards. I'm Dan. Welcome in. And today I made the trek to Lansing, where I went to the monthly show at the Lansing Mall put on by Avery Shoebox. And the show itself looks, pretty much similar to what I've kind of expected to see there over the last couple of years. There were quite a few tables. I think a little less than what we've probably seen in months past. Some of it could be just summer, school starting, probably next week for most of the schools across Michigan. A lot of other card shows that are going on. So maybe a little less traffic, a little less on the tables, but there's still, you know, a healthy number of tables at this show. And things got off to kind of a rocky start as I was driving to the show. I-96 between Grand Rapids and Lansing. Uh, we had basically a stoppage there as they were trying to get construction in before the fall, and so there was one lane of traffic for quite a ways between Grand Rapids and Lansing. So I got off to about a half hour late start at the show, and really, to be honest, I didn't really buy a ton. I'll show you what I bought, but my buying was kind of highlighted by kind of a strange thing. I don't know if it's ever happened to me, but I was at a table and I was looking to buy this card. This is a Kevin Garnett Topps Finest Rookie, which is an all-time favorite card for me. I do have a couple copies of it, but I saw a BGS copy, a BGS 8 of this card, and the guy had a sticky note on the back with $35 on it, which I thought was a pretty good deal, but a BGS 8's a little low, and so I was going to try to negotiate it down to 30. And I had to wait a little while. There's a negotiation going on with this guy and a kid over a bunch of cards. So I was waiting patiently for it. And so I asked the guy, once all that was clear, I asked, hey, would you take 30 on this? And he looked at it and he's like, well, it's not my card. It's my son's card. And, he's kind of hemming and hawing. And then called his son. And, he couldn't tell what was going on the phone, and he hung up, and he's like, well, he goes, ungraded copies have been selling for like 40, 45, 48. So my son said he would sell it for 40, which is $5 higher than the sticker. And what's $5? $5 to me is a no sale. So I didn't mind up buying it. Like I said, I do have a couple other Kevin Garnett Finests, and $30 in the hand is worth more than $40 in the bush. So I probably wind up taking that card home. So that was just kind of a weird, I was probably undefeated in making deals and negotiating things down over the last couple of years. I cannot literally remember a time where I negotiated something and got shot down. I think it might have been Chip Shawana last year. I was looking to buy a Durant Topps Chrome Rookie and another card. I can't remember what it was. And I was looking to bundle. And I did get a little bit cheaper, but he, counter offered. So I had an undefeated streak going for a couple of years on negotiating, and promptly got shot down on that one. So it happens. It's it's their cards. So can't really complain about it too much. But yeah, for me, I was just like, not only am I not getting this card, but I'd have to pay $5 more. It's weird. So, I'll go to eBay and pick up a 9 for probably the same price. I don't know. So that was that. That was just kind of a weird one. A lot of Pokemon at this show. Lansing Mall show, just more and more Pokemon all the time. Which I personally don't understand, but I don't have an issue with it. But there is an awful lot of Pokemon at the show. Seemed like there was a lot less dollar boxes. Maybe it's just me. And the price on dollar boxes has gone from dollar box to dollars box. A lot of $2 boxes, which are still good deals, but a little bit different than what I've seen. But so I'll show you my pickups. I filmed only a couple cases. I kind of forgot, to be honest, to film cases, but I did film a couple, and so you'll see some of the things. One of the things I noticed at this show was that there is some really nice Barry Sanders stuff in the cases. You know, Barry Sanders is a guy that is, you know, he's one of the GOATs. There's no arguing that when it comes to football. And a lot of his stuff has been going up lately as well. And then Barry Sanders on Twitter does a lot of giveaways. Twitter, Instagram. He connects with the fans. He was not like the most outspoken guy when he was a player, but now as a retired player, he does Twitter giveaways and he does Instagram giveaways and you know, autographs and stuff quite often. So if you're kind of interested, if you're on Twitter or if you're on Instagram, you might want to check those out. He does have giveaways quite often. So I'll show you what were some in the cases. Like I said, some really nice Barry Sanders stuff. And then I'll show you my pickups.
Yeah, it's Casper's, just like the goat. No, it's that right there.
Okay, pickups from the show. The first table I was at, I made most of my purchases, which was a good thing because, boy, I sure didn't buy much after this one. These were $2 a piece. I think there's 11 cards total that I paid $20 for. These are mostly Topps Chrome basketball. I really like the variations on this. Will Riley, for instance. Let me get that just a little bit. There we go. I like the basketball borders on these. So whenever I see those of good players, I usually pick them up. So there's a Will Riley rookie. There's a Durant. Here's a Dirk. One other Will Riley. So those are all basketball borders. I've been picking this guy up, Maxime Renault. It's red, white, and blue, the original chrome. Here's a Will Riley. This is a chrome update silver, or a refractor, I should say. Here's a Cedric Howard update X-Fractor. Here's Jalen Brunson with the net border from Flagship. I really like these reptilians. Here's a Durant reptilian. I just think those are pretty cool. They're not super scarce or anything, but they're a little harder to get than some of the other parallels. Here's a Bucelis Disco. I think the Bulls are going to be okay this year. This is kind of a rebuilding year. New coach, new GM. Caleb Wilson, no, look like the real deal in Summer League. Here's a Maxime Renault, red, white, and blue. This is from the update series. So I picked up that pile for 20 bucks. A couple other cards I picked up. There's a Cayman Malawak Bowman pink, numbered 175. I think I paid $5 for this. Yep. He had a real good summer league after really not playing a lot his rookie year. Here's a Malawak Gold, number to 2025. Flagship, $3 for that card. Here's a card that I think I got a really good deal on. As soon as I saw it, it was in a $1 box. And the value of this is just all over the place on eBay. It's a Cade Cunningham Teal Explosion rookie. prices are all over the map on these on eBay, from like $5 to $15. I'll have to take a little closer look at that, but for $1, that's a pretty good buy. Last card I bought, this guy I mentioned a little bit in my last video as one of the GOATs. Here's a Shaquille O'Neal rookie. It's the #1 draft pick version that you could get in Series 2 packs of Upper Deck. This is a scarcer of the two. The other variation was available as a redemption because he didn't have an official contract signed when they put out the product, when he put out Series 1. And so the other one was like, I think it said like trade at the top. I can't remember exactly what it said. But this one's the overall number one draft pick. This one's a little scarcer. I'm going to take a closer look at this. This is in kind of a weird plastic. So I'm going to take it out, and these are kind of all over the map too. $10 to $15 right now. Paid $5. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. Look at dollar boxes for Shaqs. There's there might be some of these rookies, or like Fleer Ultra, or some of the other ones. I did sell a couple Shaqs this week. The redemption ones. The redemption ones are not hard to find. These are a little harder to find. These ones. So that was it as far as buying. It was a very thin buying day. Probably the thinnest I've had in quite a while. Definitely the thinnest one I've had at the Lansing show. But that happens. I mean, it's not anybody's fault. It's just the way it is. Some days you find a whole ton of stuff. Like at Shipshawana last week, I found a ton of stuff. And some days you don't buy a ton. But that's the way it goes. The highlight of the trip today, not the card so much, but the dinner afterwards. Stopped at one of my favorite places to eat. Give a shout out to 3 Happiness Restaurant on Alpine Avenue, just outside of Grand Rapids. They have the best sit-down Chinese. I ordered the hot and sour soup, which is terrific, and then the orange chicken. So highly recommend both. Here's pictures of them. And so best part of the trip. So until next time, like, subscribe. Like I said, a lot of people watch the ship video. A big thank you to that. The ship show is a fun show. And the Lansing show, I didn't buy a lot today, but the Lansing show has been very good over the years and is still a very healthy show as far as number of people. If you're a TCG collector as well, you might want to give it a visit because there is a lot of TCG there. And I don't understand anything about TCG, so you're gonna have to find out on your own on that. But so until next time, Ketos, thank you, and we'll see you down the trail.